welcome to Wednesday. It's 6:30, okay, almost past 6:30, a little bit in the UK, and in Kenya as well, it's past a little bit 8:30. But welcome to Speak Up, Stand Out, Speak Up. You stand out and you speak up. So welcome, Wakanda Forever. My name is Lydia Tet Olet. And today, again, we discussed something last week and we're going to discuss it again. And like we always say, something like DV is something that you cannot just talk about in 1 week, 2 weeks. Even 1 year is not enough. It's something that we need to keep on talking and talking and talking about it. So today I'm in the studio by myself, but I have my other, my lovely sister, and she's in Zoom because today there was no trains, you know. People always say that, oh, in the Western world, everything is working. No, it's just like Kenya right now. There are things that are not working. Even here, there are things that are not working. Train is not working. So she couldn't make it to the studio. But before I bring my sister in to introduce herself, which I know almost everybody knows her, but just for the benefit of those who don't know her, I just want to say something. You know, yesterday I met a friend of mine. And I actually told her that I'm going to say this. And she was like, it's all right. And even now, that's why I say DV is something that we need to keep on talking about it. Like every blessed day should be a topic in your house. If you have children, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, talk to your children. Talk to them about DV. Because yesterday, at this age, and this time and age, she said she saw her neighbor. And this is just last week. She saw her neighbor leaving, told the husband to leave. And she was like, how can she do that? Straight away, she was blaming the woman. How can she do that? Look at the children. How can she tell the man to leave? Not even knowing what the man did, not even knowing what. The only first thing she blamed was the woman. And she was like, why can't she stay for her children? So that is the mentality that we have. That is how engraved that has been been engraved in our minds, that to take that out, to change that mindset is not going to be easy. And this is a woman who is over 40 and she's thinking this. So how much more the younger ones or the much older ones? So this is something that you need it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in your houses. All right, just before I talk too much and finish this show all by myself, let me allow my my friend Angela to introduce herself.
Hello everyone. I hope you can all hear me all right. My name is Angela Karanja and I am a psychologist, and my friend here, Lydia, has allowed me to come and have this conversation. And as Lydia said, this is not a conversation that is a one-off. It's a continuous, it's like breathing, because it's about changing behavior. It's about changing mindset. So I'm excited to be talking about this today. And also as a parenting expert, this is something like Lydia said, I said to parents, let's demonstrate and model this. And also let's talk about it with our children, because, you know, I would not want to imagine my child who is now 18 getting into a relationship and then experiencing domestic violence, right? Yeah, I cannot imagine. And the problem is, like the woman you mentioned there, Lydia. Yeah. We have our children suffering in those unhealthy relationships. Yes. Why? Because they saw us tolerate it, and also they saw us just accepting it, and they thought it was normal. Yes. And I don't think anyone wants that, but I don't know why we do it. And again, 2024, really, this is not what should be happening. And that's why we must continue talking about it. And I know there are some people there who, like the woman you said, oh, why are you still talking about this now? Right? We will not, I always say, we will not stop talking about this. Exactly. Until every woman and every man is free. Yes. Because none of us is free until everyone is free.
Thank you very much. So we also have some guests, because I shared the link as well somewhere else. So for anybody who wants to join in and just tell us what they think about this. But I know some people always want to join in and just don't say anything, just listen. But also, if you feel like I want to say something in regards to this, you can also just say something. So I can see there is Humphrey. If maybe Humphrey wants to say something, or if anybody who has joined wants to say something as well. Today, this is about conversation. It's about having like a debate with other people, not just me and Angela in the studio, but we have other people as well. So we have Glad, if you want to say something, or if you feel like you want to say something as well about this topic, because like I said, this topic is something that we as human beings, and it doesn't matter the race, it doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter the geographical area, it's happening everywhere. There's this program that is called My Wife, My Abuser, is in Channel 5. And I watched it twice. It was so, and it's a Caucasian. It's a Caucasian man and the woman. And it's the woman who is abusive. He was beating this man for 20 years. This man kept on excuses. And he's beating the man in front of the children. And then even asking the children, do you want daddy to stay or daddy to go? But the children say, we want daddy to go. And then daddy's just blinking at them, like, because it's not their fault for them to say that. Maybe they just feel like, we don't want dad to be beaten. He even beat this man with the bottle in front of the children. And this is a Caucasian. So it's not about black, white, Chinese, Indians. It's about humanity. And we have to say something to stop this. So Glad, do you want to say anything? Introduce yourself.
Yes. Thank you. My name is Gladys, and I work with healthcare services.
Okay.
So, having worked in the healthcare for over 15 years while living in the UK, this is recurrences of what we see happening around my workplace, almost on daily basis.
Wow.
So I would say it's a massive topic that needs discussion. We need to open up the core of the whole problem. And the problem doesn't really involve one race.
Yes.
It's on every race.
Exactly.
Like you mentioned, a case that happened with the Caucasian, which I am kind of very aware of it. And we're trying to discuss around it with colleagues. Solutions are not there, but working together and discussing the whole event and bringing in more examples. But I think we will get somewhere at some point. There is the devil hidden in the pot, which we need to get out and get people to understand. Violence is not acceptable in the current society we're living in, and especially domestic violence. I think it's a mental disturbance that is going on around. And we need to discuss about it. I've just come back from work. I will do a lot of listening.
Yes.
And yes, thanks for letting me in. I thought I should just put my earphones on and listen. Yes, it's a good discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gladys, for that. I don't know if Humphrey also wants to say something. Humphrey, do you want to say something or just listen up? It's fine to just listen up or to say something as well if you can. But if you can't, it's okay. So Humphrey, do you want to say anything?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Humphrey. I also work in healthcare services. But I want to do some listening today.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So today we have people joining us, Angela. So we also have someone else who just joined now. I don't know, maybe we'll give them time to settle down. So yes, so Angela, like I was saying, and I like what Gladys just said now, that solutions. There is no solutions, but we should try and look for solutions, because there is a man who actually left the wife for 5 years. Why would you leave your wife for 5 years and come back? When he came back, the wife killed him. And these are things that we need to know, that once you've left, God has given you the power, or you've had the power yourself and you've managed to left. So why would you leave and come back? And we see a lot of situations where the abused have gone, but when the victim has gone, but when they come back, the abuser just finishes them. because he's thinking, okay, or she's thinking, okay, you leave and you'll never come back again, just like you did before. What do you think about that, Angela? Talking of solutions, do we really have solutions?
I would say, to be honest, I know Gladys said there are no solutions, but I believe we have solutions within ourselves, and it's a cultural mind shift, right? And there's one thing before I forget, you said about, we know, for example, in research, what we have found is when you are leaving or when you have left, that is the most dangerous time for either a woman or a man. Statistics continue to show us, because the person, the abuser, feels like they have lost power.
Yes.
And when they have, and everyone knows by now, I hope everyone knows that domestic abuse is about power and control, right? So when they are in that state, when they feel that they've lost control, that is when they'll finish you off.
Yes.
I mean, I know I've shared my story before, and I know, even on a personal level, if you leave and come back, that is the most dangerous time.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's come to solutions. In terms of solutions, I want us to think, why is it that someone actually thinks it's okay to hit another person? How is it that someone can think it's okay to demean another person? How is it that someone can say it's okay to I mean, like last week, to financially abuse, to emotionally abuse, for it to become a normality? Why is it like that? And this is what I can say. There's a lot of conditioning that goes on when people are younger. So we are made to believe, we see it happening in our family, right? So we think it's okay, right? And so when we go into our relationships, we either do it or it's done to us, and we think it's okay.
Yes.
So because it has been normalized. So let's come back to solutions. So how can we change this? How we can change this is letting everyone know it is not okay. It is not okay. It is not okay. And when you know something is not okay, you are more likely to report it. Yeah? You are more likely to say, no, it's not happening to me, because I know it's not okay. Right? And also, we know that for any of, domestic violence, domestic abuse, it's one of the most underreported crimes, because there's a shame associated with it, right? There's a shame of, I'm in this relationship, it's supposed to be nice, it's supposed to, because the person that's supposed to love you is the person that's hurting you. So we feel shame, because I want Lydia to think the best of me. I want Lydia, or I want Gladys to think the best of myself and my relationship.
Yes.
How can I go back and then say to them that this person that I'm telling them is the one I love is the same one that's beating me up?
So that's shame.
So there's a shame associated with it.
Yes.
But if everyone understands, no, it's not okay for you to be treated like trash, then I will not feel the shame. I will not feel the shame when I'm telling you, because I'll have the conviction that actually, Lydia, this is what's happening to me. And then you will say to me, Angela, you know you're not supposed to be treated like trash.
Yes.
You deserve better. Do you see what I mean? It's really it's a mind shift for all of us. It's a mindset change that needs to happen.
So a lot of thank you so much for that, and I hear what you're saying. So a lot of why I'm not going, there's shame, there's fear, and there's I love him or I love her. Those are the excuses we get. There's children, and children is always number one. There's
children is a big one.
It's a big one. There's children. There's where do I go, right? There's how will I survive financially without this person? Because you actually, this person, because like what we said last week, abuse does not just start one day. they cripple you slowly and slowly. So now this person have crippled you so much that you are dependent on them financially. So you can't go, because how will I cope financially? Okay. And there's also will I ever find love again? Right?
Oh, yeah.
That is fear. Will I ever find the love again? Because probably they think that this person have told you you're ugly, nobody will ever look at you, you're this is this. They've abused you sexually, they've abused you everything. So you believe what they're saying, you believe their draws of lies, and you're thinking, yeah, will anybody ever love me? No, nobody will ever love me, let me just stay in this relationship. And then there is I don't want to be alone. And that is a bad one as well. This I don't want to be alone is what makes you come from frying pan to fire. Okay.
Yes.
There's a Kenyan girl who was killed, I think just in December, because she was from a one relationship to another relationship, domestic to domestic, and that's what killed her. So this is I don't want to be alone, right? So there's all these things that makes us stay, but all those things are wrong reasons to stay in a relationship. Because like you said, if somebody loves you and they're beating you, they're abusing you, they don't love you. That's not love.
It's not.
That is not love. And I hear, yes, Gladys, when she said there's no solutions, and I hear you as well saying there is solutions. And I think in some people's mind, when they're using all these excuses, definitely there's no solution for them. They feel like there's no solution because they fear and shame, all that attached. But if you open your mindset, and that's what I'm saying now, those days of our mothers, and probably my days, there was no internet. There was no this internet. There was nobody talking. There was no way you can open and hear somebody saying, I've been in an abusive relationship, I left. There was nothing like that. There was, you all see aunties being beaten, they're staying. Your parents being beaten, they're staying. The society, everybody's been beaten, everybody's staying, and nobody's saying anything. So that trauma, because we've lived with that trauma, so in our own relationship, we are relieving the trauma that we saw our parents and our aunties living, and nobody's telling us otherwise. But now, there's so much. You open this, you hear somebody saying, now people are actually saying that I left my husband or I left my wife because of this. So I'm thinking, can't people... I don't know, Angela. Sometimes I get angry with the victim rather than the abuser, because I feel like the victim, you have the power, and you've allowed somebody to take your power and just play with it like this, like yo-yo. You get me? Just play with it. So what is so? I know it's easier said than done, but I feel like if you're a victim and you're watching this, you need to get to a place of saying, I want to take my power back.
That's it. But remember, Lydia, this is about mindset shift, right? And changing the mindset is one of the hardest things, because everyone, you guys, if I give you a little bit of neuroscience, right? How the brain works is you learn something and you keep to it. Change. That's why change is very difficult, because it involves a lot of changing a lot of things, right? Changing a lot of things. So if you're saying today, no one should be getting abused. It's true. They can see, isn't it? They can see that, oh, Lydia left and she's okay. Look, she's doing way better than she could have done when she was in that relationship. Then someone else is seeing, oh, Angela left and she's okay. She's doing way better than she could have been doing when she was in that. And then there's so many other examples, right? But sometimes we call them neuropaths. It's like you've created a road. There's a very strong road. This is the way that you have to go in your life. So when you're asked, when your brain, because the brain also likes to reserve and conserve energy. So when you're asked to do something different, it is so hard. In fact, we know for someone to change one type of thinking, it can take about 66 days. And you have to do it again and again and again and again and again. remember last week I said it's like habits are like addictions, right? So you're continuing to believe something even though you know it is not right.
Yes.
You know, intellectually, you know it's not right. But here's the thing, yeah? You know, our body system, the way our body is made, we have, each one of us has about, let's say, 50 to 80 trillion cells, right? Can you imagine each one of those cells believes that I am not worthy, I'm nothing, right? Because remember, when you're being abused,
Yes.
you are run down, or you will never find someone, or you are useless.
Yes.
How will you survive without me? There's all that. So all your cells are believing that, right? And then they come and listen to Lydia. Lydia is saying, you can do this. You can take back your power, right? So this is what it is. So there's this one person saying that, one person from outside, and then there's 50 trillion cells of mine believing something different. It's like an elephant. It's like a little ant trying to change the direction of the elephant. It is that's why
Wow.
we see that's why we see ourselves doing things even though they're harmful. That's because that's the way the brain works. But it is possible. It is possible when you continuously, that's why we are told, even like the Bible says, renew your mind.
Yes.
That's why when you listen to this, and I love the way you said, it's not you hear once and leave it.
Yes.
You hear it in the morning, on lunchtime, you hear it in the evening, and renew your mind. You say to yourself, I am worthy.
Yes.
I need to be treated better. I am a child of the Most High God. You know, all those things. And when you tell yourself that over and over again, then you can turn around, because you're feeding, remember, you're refeeding yourself.
Yes.
So they're beginning to take on a new understanding. And that's how we are then able to change our mindset. It's not a one-day thing. It's not, and that's why, Lydia, some of us, you leave and then you come back.
Yes. Yes. That's the part I don't understand. That's the part I don't understand, because it takes so much energy and so much strength to leave. So why would you use that strength and that energy, leave, and then go back? I have a cousin of mine. She was married in Nigeria. And to a pastor, by the way, I'm not mentioning names because there's trillion of pastors in Nigeria. And this man abused this girl for over 30 years. And they have 7 children. One day she managed to escape with all her children and came back to Kenya. It was hard for her. So she escaped first, and then he was stealing a child one by, it was like, it was those movies, like you think you are like, now this is a movie, no way this is real. She had to kidnap those children one by one to bring them back to Kenya with her. 2 years later, she goes back. I'm like, who does that? Who does that? Now nobody knows where she is, because now she cut everybody off. She was like, oh, you people are bad, you people are bad, you people are not married, I was married. Now she cuts everybody off. Why would you do that? That's what I don't understand.
It's this whole domestic abuse. Obviously, we've studied it for the longest time. It's again what we call trauma bonding, and it's again what we call the Stockholm syndrome. It's you are truly conditioned, and then if you understand the cycle of abuse, right? I can tell you this: the abuser is not bad all the time. They're not like an evil devil all the time.
Yes.
They're not. They're very charming. So they'll come back to you with flowers. They'll come back to you with trips abroad. They'll come back to you with all sorts of something. And who doesn't want such things?
Yes.
But unfortunately, it's in doing that you're kept in that cycle, because you're always being we call it breadcrumbing, right? You know, like if you're walking in front of your children,
yes,
and you're saying to them, follow me, and what you do is drop a breadcrumb, so they're following the breadcrumb. So you drop a breadcrumb, I take and eat, and it's nice, yeah. And then you keep going, and I'm expecting you to drop another breadcrumb, yeah. So I drop another one, and you pick it up, right? And so they keep you going, they keep you in their system. It takes a lot of effort. In fact, again, I'll drop a bit of research as well here again. It takes about 7 times for a woman to actually leave an
I think
abuser.
Okay.
And this is just for I don't know the statistics for men, but it takes about 7 trials for a woman to leave and leave for good.
I think mine took longer than that.
Average.
I know now I can actually laugh. Now I can actually laugh at what happened to me. But at that time, it wasn't funny at all.
No, it's not funny.
Yeah, it's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. But when you've come out and you're even able to laugh at what happened, then you know you're healed. You know you've moved on. So before I just say what I want to say next, I want to say thank you so much for everybody who is watching. Please keep on sharing. Bring your comments. Bring your ideas as well. And discussion we are discussing. And also those people who have joined us. I can see Beatrice as well. Gitati. So if anybody wants to say something, Beatrice, if you want to contribute, I'm free. I know he said he wants to just listen, and Gladys as well is listening. So anybody who wants to say something, if you feel like, okay, I want to contribute, you can do that, Beatrice. You can do that, Humphrey. You can do that, Gladys. But for now, we're just talking, and let's continue. So thank you very much, everybody. Keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing. Now, I know what you said about affirmation, okay? So don't wait for somebody to give you affirmation. Affirm yourself every day. I am beautiful, regardless of what the abuser is saying. So when you, those 7 times that you're still waiting for those 7 times, maybe you've only left once, maybe you've never even left, and this person keeps putting you down, you know, you're ugly, you're this, beating you to the, every day when you wake up, give yourself affirmation. You might even leave once and never go back, and just say, I know I left so many times and I always went back. But because you know the good thing with the UK, I would say, is the man who leaves, not the woman. So, you know, so I was being left in the house. So imagine if I was in Kenya, it's me who would be chest away, get out of my house, you know. So he kept on going and coming back all the time. To an extent of my neighbor one day say that, I stopped smoking. I've stopped smoking for 2 years, Lydia. But the day I'll see this man back again, I'll start smoking and it's going to be your fault. I was like, okay, that is strong. Okay, that is strong. I don't want to make somebody start smoking again. So affirmation is very important. So if anybody is watching, give yourself, affirm to every day, I'm this, I'm that, I'm who God created me to be. God cannot create an ugly beast. God cannot create you and you're not good. God cannot, no, God created you in his own image. If you really, truly believe that he's this awesome being, how is it that you're not? And he created you in his image. So you wake up every day, in the morning, lunchtime, dinner time, every day, give yourself affirmation. Before you realize, before you notice, you love and value yourself. You love and value yourself. So I wanted to ask something as well. In a relationship, this type of abusive relationship, Angela. Mm-hmm. If your partner tells you you shouldn't work, stay home, right? If there's children, I can understand that, okay, maybe one person stays home and look after the children, that's fine. But if they just force you to stay home and you're not working, and then they tell you again, you're not allowed to see your friends, you're not allowed to see this and see this, okay? So can somebody, so my question now is, both genders, of course, can somebody be in an abusive relationship and don't even know that that's an abuse?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Absolutely. You can be like what you mentioned. Someone telling you not to work. Why is another grown-up telling you how to be as a person? If it's an agreement, you said, oh, actually, we have so much money. Maybe what you can, let's agree who's going to stay at home, look after the home, or if it's an agreement, that's different, right?
Yes.
If it's an agreement, that's different. A man can stay at home and become the home man, or the woman can stay at home and become the home man. But when someone tells you as a grown-up how to live your life, that first in itself is disrespectful, because you, especially if you're a woman, you want to be of value.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to be, you want to go and share your talents and your gifts out there, right? Then someone is telling you not to.
Yes.
So literally what they're saying is, you have no worth. Hide yourself under the bushel.
Yes.
So, that one made me. Hold on a minute. Let me cough a little.
That's fine. So it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So I would say something like that. First of all, they're telling you that, and then the next thing, because if you're not working, that means you'll be reliant on them.
Yes.
And that is the beginning, a lot of time, is the beginning of being manipulated. Because now they can tell you, they can even ask you, how are you spending my money? Why did you buy coffee here? Why did you buy pants? Why did you buy panties? Yeah, because it's their money, remember?
Exactly.
So it's very important to notice. Normally, when a woman is asked not to work, it's usually the beginning.
Yeah.
If you look 2-3 years down the line, it's usually the beginning of abuse.
Yes.
That is what I can say. And a lot of women don't know why. Because traditionally, women used to stay at home. Yeah. But you're saying, for example, if you have children as well, even if you have children, if you want not just to be a mother, it's important for your partner to listen to you. Even if you're going to work, I mean, I've got friends who they don't even need the money. They'll go and work in a coffee shop. Why? So that they can go and meet other adults. So someone should not be telling you what to do as a grown-up, how to use your talents, how to use your time, how to earn your money. That is a form of abuse. That is a form of psychological abuse, because they're treating you not as an equal. What do you do with an equal person? You have discussions, isn't it?
Yes.
You have discussion, you agree, okay, this is what I'm going to pay for this, or I'm going to pay for that, and things like those. And when someone's stopping you from working, and then you're reliant on them so that they can track you, they can track when you buy a new bra. Maybe they'll tell you, you shouldn't have bought that one. You should, it's now you're not being treated like an equal.
Yes.
Which is a shame, because when it comes to partnership, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationships, we're supposed to be. And I'm not saying a man must be like a woman, or a woman must be. That's not. I'm talking about equality in terms of thinking, in terms of conversations, right? I'm talking in terms of, you're the one that works from home, so you can put the dishwasher on because you work from home. I can't expect the husband to come and put the dishwasher on, to take a break and come and move. But if I'm here, I can put the dishwasher on. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be, let's say 50-50 or whatever.
Yes.
But it's about agreement. Are we agreeing? Are we having discussions on this? Because if there is none of that, and you are being told what to do, that is not acceptable.
Yes. 100%. That's not acceptable. So there'll be a lot of, in situations like this, there'll be a lot of manipulation, gaslighting, control, and if you don't see it at the beginning, one day you sit down and say, how did I get here?
Exactly.
It'll be too late because you'll be like, how
Exactly.
did I
And
get
it
here?
gets, the thing with abuse, it gets worse. If you don't nip it in the bud, anyone who has endured even beating or been killed or injured severely, or they can tell you it started from being told, don't sit there at the restaurant. Don't sit there. I want you to sit on this side. You know, something as simple as that. And you're like,
Yes.
wait a minute. You mean a grown-up is telling you where to sit at the restaurant? Yeah, it's things like those.
Yes.
Or don't wear red lipstick.
Yes.
Or don't wear trousers. Right? It's things like those.
Yes. Yes.
And what I normally say to women and even men, if it doesn't feel right, then you know it's not right.
It's not right.
Sometimes we don't even know why it's not right, but you know, you're like, I remember last week, Micah mentioned something like someone even rolling your eyes. When you say something, when you make a suggestion, you see someone rolling your eyes, rolling their eyes. It's a sort of disrespect, you know?
And
If someone doesn't understand what you're saying, they can say, oh, my dear, help me understand what you mean. Not just roll their eyes at you, you know?
and make you diminishing. That's the word. They diminish
Exactly.
your
It's demeaning,
presence.
it's diminishing,
Yeah.
it's demeaning, it's treating you like, it's like dirt, you're trash.
Yeah, like you're not really here, but you
No.
are here. Yeah. So that is oh God, I don't know what we're gonna do about this, but like we said, it's for lunch, it's for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Before we go to bed, we're going to talk about DV, put it in people's heads. And the worst thing about this, at least if somebody knows that I'm in an abusive relationship, but I don't know how to come out, or because my mom told me go back, my pastor said go back, this person said go back, it's different from the one who don't even realize that they're going through DV. And that's the worst. The ones that don't even realize is the worst, right? And those are the ones who don't even know where to start in helping them. So I want to say again, thank you very much for everybody who is watching. Like we said, if you have a comment, if you want to say something, you can just even put it in the chat box, because there's a chat box there for people who are on Zoom. You can put anything in the chat box and just say something, and we're going to read what you've said. Okay? So is there anything there to be read? If there's something there to be read, somebody say, I'm a silent listener today. That's fine, silent listener. It's okay. Maybe one day you can come in and also help us, because we always want to hear it from a man's perspective as well, even though we know that majority is women who go through DV. But anybody who wants to say something, Robert, I can see you there. Thank you very much. So anybody who wants to just contribute and say something, because today we are talking about DV. And I know there's a lot of men who go through it as well. Of course, the majority is women. But even percentage of men who go through DV, they're scared to talk about it, because their peers, their men will laugh at them. The women will laugh at them. They feel like the children will disrespect them. So do they really have space to talk about it like women? Because women, we don't care. We talk about it in the salon. We talk about it anywhere that there is somebody listening. We will say. But as much as we are saying it, are we doing something about it? That's the thing. Because saying it is easy to say, but are you doing something about it? You say, oh, my husband does this to me. My husband does this. My husband beats me. But you are still going back to the same husband every day. So that is what now we need to see how we're going to change the mindset. Like Angela rightfully said, change that mindset of this is unhealthy. This is unhealthy relationship. And I want to talk now about children. Because I know this unhealthy relationship, it destroys the same thing we say we don't want to live because of the children, is the same thing that destroys the children. So let's talk more about children, because I know a lot of people who go through DV, they have children. And a lot of them say, I'm not leaving for my children.
Same, what is maganda ko breaking stay over the यहाँ पे आके तो हमें very nice
Okay. All right, Angela.
Right? I thought someone else was contributing. I was trying to listen in.
Yes, me
Right.
too.
Again, it's known knowledge, and also there is a lot of research about children who have been brought up in abusive relationship.
Yes.
That in itself is a trauma, and it's some of what we call adverse childhood experiences. Yeah. So when a woman says, "I'm not leaving because of children," that is a very, very it's a very flimsy reason. If you knew just how much you're harming your children by staying,
That's
you
right.
would leave. You would leave the first day. Yeah, because what's happening? You're subjecting your children to what I said. They're called the ACEs, advanced childhood experiences, and this is what children continue to suffer even into their adulthood because of these experiences. There's so many things that happen to young people who have either observed, and the child does not have had to be beaten themselves, but the fear of observing and also the dissonance of observing that this man or this woman says they love this one, but look what they are doing to them. Therefore, they also tell me that they love me. This is what they can do to me. Do you see?
Yes.
So there is that confusion in the child, and also there is a fear. Ask anyone who has lived through domestic abuse. They will tell you of they will tell you of days that they slept with just one eye closed, the other one opened, right? Because they don't know what maybe the father is going to do today, right? I think I mentioned this before. In fact, about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about domestic abuse, and also I was talking about smacking children on BBC. And one of the things I shared, Lydia, I said, I didn't even know at that time. Do you know, I wet my bed until I must have been 15. And now I know it was because of anxiety, because of what was happening at home. So we have those things affecting our children. Why is a 15-year-old wetting their bed?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. And when you wet your bed, you're beaten even some more.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do you see? And there's that. There's wetting the bed. There's sicknesses that you can't. Children saying, "I don't want to go to school. My tummy is hurting," right? Or my head is hurting. Children experiencing illnesses, and we call them psychosomatic illnesses. They are illnesses based on psychological issues. You see them having rashes. You see them breaking out with pimples. You see children, having constipation. You see children regressing. You see children self-harming. You see children having suicidal ideation. Why? Because of what's happening at home. Now tell me, surely, if you know, today we are talking in 2024, if you know this information, would you still say that I'm staying because of my children?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you still say that? Which mother or which father would say that is the reason they're staying, when you know you're not just only harming yourself, you're harming the children, generations to come?
And these children, if they don't have a very strong willpower to say, no, I love myself, no, I love my wife, no, I love my husband, they will continue with the cycle. They'll be abusers or they'll be abused.
Exactly. And that's what happens. They will be abusers. And again, that is something that we know. They will be abusers, current abusers were either abused when they were young, or they observed abuse and they internalized it as okay. This is how you deal with someone when you're not happy with them.
Yes. Yes.
This is how you treat a woman when you're not happy with them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they don't have the capacity. And the reason they take on that is, you know, when we are younger, when people are younger, especially just before 25, everything that because the reasoning capacity is not there yet. They just accept what they see as that is the way life should be. And that's why when they grow up, we carry on doing the things, you know, like the things our mothers did, the things our fathers did. We don't even know why, right? But it's, I think, the call we want to make is ask yourself, is the way I am being treated today, is the way I'm being treated today demonstrating that I have value? Is it demonstrating that I am worthy? Is it demonstrating that I am a capable human being? I'm a beautiful human being? And honestly, if the answer is no, you need to question. You need to either speak with that person and say to them, it stops today, or I'm gone. And this goes for both men and women. And now we're not saying that you just go and tell someone you're off. We're not here to tell people to go or stay.
Yes.
We are here to give information. Ask yourself. Ask yourself, am I a worthy human being? Am I a valuable human being? And am I a capable human being? And is the way that I'm being treated demonstrating that? And on the other flip side is the way I'm treating this person showing that I value them, that they are worthy, that they are capable human, that they are beautiful human beings. And honestly, I think, Lydia, if we can ask ourselves those questions, because sometimes as human beings we can be mean, right? We can be mean. You come out from your stress from wherever, and then you come home and you're shouting. I mean, I must admit, even myself, like at home here, maybe I'm stressed from things out there, and then I come here, I'm shouting at people, and they have nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
Yes. So I have learned to. And because this is a topic we talk about here at home, you will hear maybe the man will ask me, how you're speaking to me, has that got anything to do with me? Or where have you got it from outside? And then I will stop because I have been caught.
Yes.
For example, even if it's my daughter, sometimes I'll just start, you know, I'll speak of myself, I'll start saying things that in not a very nice way because of maybe what I've experienced outside there.
Yes.
But because she knows that we talk about these things all the time, she'll say, I will not be spoken to like that. And I have to hold myself. I'm like, actually, what I'm doing is like vomiting the rubbish that I have collected from wherever on them, right? So what I'm trying to say, guys, here is that each one of us actually needs to constantly evaluate ourselves and ask ourselves, is the way I'm treating this person, is it right? Or if you can answer that it's not right, that means on the other side, you have the strength to say, I mean, because, for example, like I said, we talk about these things openly. That means when my partner or when my daughter tries to speak to me like that, I can say to them, you don't speak to me like that. And they will stop, right? So the culture in your home, it's very, very important. But again, it starts from me.
Exactly.
Change starts from me. That's what I can say.
Yes. Okay.
And gosh, I don't even know why I started talking about what. And the reason I said these things is to show you guys, none of us is an angel.
None.
We also do crazy stuff. But the most important thing is to catch yourself and say to yourself, Angie, you're being crazy.
Yes.
You're being crazy. And if it carries on like that, because abuse is about carrying on, going down that way, going that way until it becomes normal. Yeah, it becomes normal that when I come in the house, Lydia, for example, I come in the house and I find, I was in my head, I didn't tell anyone, I was expecting sausages, right? I was expecting sausages. So I come and find it's eggs that have been cooked. So I pick the eggs and throw them away, right? See, you've had people who do that.
Yes, of course, a lot.
Exactly. So, first of all, you did not communicate what you wanted, right? What you would have wanted. And then, when someone has made an effort, at least appreciate, say, oh, wow, do you know what? Thanks for making the eggs. But in my head, believe me, I was thinking of sausages.
Yes. But at least you've appreciated what the efforts the person has taken to go through.
Exactly. It becomes abuse when you take people for granted, when you have, unreasonable expectations, and then you're forcing them onto someone. You turn up, maybe let's say you've been golfing all day and night, right? So you turn up at maybe 10 o'clock in the night. And then I say, Lydia, at that point, I want a hot meal. At 10 o'clock in the night. And you have to wake up, you have to chop the onions, you have to do, what is that? You're supposed to be sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah? So do you see what I mean? That taking advantage of other people as well, that is a form of abuse.
Yes. But mostly here we're talking about the children. Because the children suffer. The children go through so much. And that's why sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes you see children out there, you see how they're behaving out there, you see them bullying other children out there, right? We've seen a lot of children, we see a lot of videos going around, children being bullied, do you think that person bullying that child is from a stable a family? No, because probably what they see in their house is dad beating mom beating dad, there's always fighting. There's no way of solving issues, right, in this family. There's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no mature way of solving any issues in this family. Anything goes wrong, is the woman, the man, everything. So they take that frustration because they can't give it back to their parents. They take it and take it to the streets, to the children.
Oh, yeah. And again, another thing I'll say, bullies, when we see bullies on the playground, when we see bullies even in churches, when we see bullies in community settings, wherever we meet children and you see them bullying, it's because they have seen it in their homes and they know that is the way to get power and control. So what they do, they go and look for someone, anyone, they can pick on anyone, and they'll pick on you for how you look, for the color of your skin, how tall you are, or how thin you are, or they can pick on anything. On anything. And then they will bully. We know bullies are usually from families that are bullies themselves.
Yeah.
Right? And that is something we know, and we research it, and we know. And when we track it back, we see that is how the parents live their lives. They have no self-regulation.
So imagine seeing your child, right? Forget the child who is being bullied outside. Imagine seeing your child is the one bullying that child. Do you know how painful that is? Do you know how painful it is to know that your child inflicted somebody's child with that so much pain, right? And it's because what you've done to your own child. So when you're staying in a relationship and saying, I'm staying because of my children, you are damaging those children the more. Think about it. Sit down
because you're consolidating that culture of violence. You're saying it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. You may not be telling them go and beat someone.
Yes,
but
your
how
action.
you live.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your actions. In fact, there is a quote. I think you know it. Our actions speak so loud. Our children don't hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do what we do, not what we say.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you can't be slapping the mom and telling the child, don't do that. When you go to school, don't slap. They will not listen to what you're saying. They see what you're doing and they copy what you're doing because you're their mirror. Do you understand? So
completely.
People with children, let's safeguard our children. Let's protect our children. Because tomorrow these children will be doing the same thing you're doing. And also imagine your daughter or your son is married and your son is being abused. Your son is being abused. And your son is telling you, Mommy or Daddy, I love this woman so much. I can't. And you're seeing what your son is going through. Do you know how painful that is? But it's somebody else like you who caused that because they thought, I'm staying to protect my children. But you're causing more damage than than protecting your children. And the other thing I want to talk about as well, Angela, is I don't want to be alone. How risky is that?
You know, I think also traditionally, especially the language that goes around, it's like there's something wrong with being single, right? And biologically, we know that as human beings, we are made for relationships. We thrive in relationships. But how the society has interpreted it is you must be with another man or you must be with another woman.
Yes.
No, that is not the way. You can be healthy in relationships that don't involve romance. Right? But that is the way we have interpreted it. And that is why you see I'll speak on behalf of women. Well, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not every woman, to be honest. But you will see someone staying in a toxic relationship than be alone. That is a choice that even some of them will tell you, oh, let me just pick whatever I find.
Yes.
Whatever I find is better than nothing. And you look at the person, you're like, really? And unfortunately, when you're in that thinking mode, that is when you can really get abused. Because, first of all, you've lost value for yourself. So why should the other person find value in you?
Exactly.
So that of being alone, I think it's important for people to know it's okay to be alone.
It's okay.
It is possible to be alone and not lonely.
Yes.
But then remember, it's also possible
to be in a relationship
with someone and
you're
lonely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's very, very important for us to distinguish that. Yeah. I was single for a long time after I left my marriage, right? And I was okay. I did things. I did whatever. But the thing is, I'm still able to do the things that I did at that point, you know? And at one point I thought, I would like to have a person, right? And when I thought like that is when I said, I sat down actually and wrote down everything I wanted in terms of, health. And I was thinking in terms of mentally healthy, spiritually healthy. I was thinking in terms of someone who is healed, psychologically healthy, right? That is how I was thinking, financially healthy, right? And someone who is physically healthy. That is how I put it down. And I knew, this is one thing I knew. I knew that I can only get that if I am that.
Yes, that's a good
And
one.
therefore, I had to, again, it comes back to, I had to work on myself.
I actually
Right?
wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the aura. Okay, the aura attracts the other aura. That's why sometimes you enter a room and you just see somebody say, "Oh my God, that girl, that guy, she just looks like an angel," because of the aura that follows you. So what you just rightfully said, that you had to be that. Okay, so that is when, coming from a frying pan, we always say frying pan, to the fire. So I was, as a person who is a community person, I talk to a lot of women and I talk to a lot of men, and my advice is always, you can be alone. You can be single, but you're not lonely, just like you rightfully said. So don't think that if I'm single, I'll be lonely, because that's what they always say. I don't want to be lonely. I say, but you can be in a relationship and be lonely, because if you're being abused, you are so lonely in that relationship.
It's a very lonely. Any woman who has lived in an abusive relationship, you know how lonely it can be.
Very lonely.
It is so lonely. It is so lonely because you're stuck there thinking that what's happening is not nice. But again, we come back, but I'm shameful. I can't tell anyone.
I can't.
Because I want people to think that we are all that, you know? You keep it and you're suffering in silence.
Yes. Personally, we used to go to parties with my ex. If we go somewhere and everybody was like, "Oh, I wish you can be like this boy." I don't like mentioning his name, but I wish you can be that boyfriend and Lydia. Every time people are like, "Oh, I wish you can be," because outside we were so lovey-dovey. We will dance, we will smile, we will hug. But immediately we entered the house, it was water and oil. And that was it was pretense, because we are creating this picture of perfection outside, but yet in the house we are so lonely. I was so lonely in that relationship. I'm sure he was lonely as well, but I was so lonely as well. So the aura that follows you, you need to heal. And that's the thing that a lot of women, especially women, forget even men now, we talk to women, they don't take their time out to heal. Being alone, single, doesn't mean you're lonely. Take time to heal. Take time to reflect. Take time to love yourself again. Value yourself. Know yourself. Where you get to a point that you can stand and say, "My name is Lydia Tetolette. I am unique. I am beautifully made. I am," mention those names, and without fear, without shame of what are they going to say? Oh, somebody might not like it. That is their own perception, and it does not define you. But when you get to that point, then your aura will change. Your aura will change, that you will meet that person. Just like Angela said, she had to be that person to meet that person. So if your aura changes to this beautiful thing, you will meet that person. But if you still have that dark aura around you, that's why you see some women from fire to frying pan to, and you're like, how can you be 4 times, 5 times in a relationship, and all this relationship is the same story? The same story. He beats me, he cheats on me, he abuses me, he does this every time. Because you need to take time out.
Exactly. You need to take time out. And again, like you said, I know that's what you advise women. And that is something I say to women as well. For example, I discovered in my working on myself, I discovered I had no boundaries.
Yes.
I had no boundaries, and therefore I allowed the person to overstep me, to make decisions for me, all those things. So that is something I actually had to work on, and know me, and know where I begin and where I end, and where the other person begins and where they end.
Yes.
Otherwise, I was gonna go into something else as well, and then you continue being abused in the same way.
Yes.
So when they tell you, oh, even no wonder the other person did this to you.
Thank you.
Right? You see, no wonder this person. So it was you who was on the wrong. Yeah.
Yes,
And you
yes.
say, and you start thinking, oh, actually, it must have been
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
But you need to get to a point where you look at someone cannot even bring that topic, because you're no longer that person that you used to be.
There's some words that are normally used in a relationship that you have to stand and say, See, there's some words when somebody's a narcissistic and controlling and manipulative and gaslighting, they like to say, every time the way you talk to me, you make me feel like I'm just walking on eggshells. I hate that word. And I say, no, please. I am allowed to express myself. You wanting to walk on eggshells, that's your decision.
That's exactly.
That's your decision that you choose
Lydia,
to walk.
I love what you say. I love what you say.
Yes.
About you make me. You make me feel.
Yes.
Oh, so that means I am responsible for your feelings. I am responsible for your thoughts. You know, that's a big load to carry for someone. I'm like, no. I am not responsible for your feelings. I am not responsible for your actions. I am not responsible for your thoughts. That's who, and I can tell you, I didn't know that. You know, I knew, if someone is angry and they said it was because of me, I just thought, okay, it's me who's on the wrong. But,
yes.
But now I know for sure that it's your decision. Whatever you've done, if you're being untrustworthy, that's your decision. If you can't trust me, that's your decision, right? And that is where people have conversations. And I ask you, have I given you a reason
not to trust
me?
Exactly.
Right? Have I given you? And then if it's just speculation, then you need to deal with your insecurity.
That's it. Because I've not given you any reason to doubt me, not to trust me, but you've decided by yourself, because your past relationship, there was no trust and there was no belief. So you want to carry it on. But
you're punishing me for your past.
You're punishing me for your past. But once you give me a reason not to trust you, then also don't come and tell me, trust me. Because trust is earned. It is earned. So you have to earn that trust back. Because somebody will do something to you, like maybe they'll have an affair, or they'll do something and then come to you and say, I'm not having an affair again. Don't you trust me? Hello? It doesn't work like that. And because you're scared to lose them, you'll be like, no, baby, I trust you. But inside you, you actually don't. So I'm thinking, even in a relationship, stop painting things to thinking, I want to keep him. I want to keep her. Let me just say, yeah, I trust you. No. Clearly say, sweetheart,
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you.
Let me, yeah, exactly. And you for example, I can even give you an example. If someone says to you, I'm gonna maybe buy or I'm gonna repair this seat by the end of the week, right? And then they don't, right? I can say to them, you see, you gave me a promise and I can see you didn't keep it.
Yes.
So tell me, how am I supposed to trust you if this is the way you behave?
Yes.
Right? I'm looking at the actions, not what you told me.
Yes.
I'm looking at the actions, right? And it's up to them surely to say, okay, I can understand why you're losing trust in me, right? I am going to now demonstrate, work on regaining
that trust back.
You see?
Yes.
But that, it's gaslighting when someone says, oh, you don't trust me now then. You don't trust me then.
Yes,
right?
Gaslighting. Yes, that it is.
And it's not acceptable. That's that's a form of abuse, because first of all, they're taking you for granted. They have no regard for you. And they're like, you're supposed to, you're supposed to just trust me because I said I'm going to do something.
I said I'll change. I've changed.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
We have to be able to see the actions that match your words, right? We have to be able to see the action that are matching the words, because anyone can throw out any words,
Words are cheap.
They're cheap.
Very
right?
cheap.
Very cheap. Yeah, anyone can utter them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So Angela, just before we close, I just want to say there's something again. Last week we were discussing, and I know there was a big kahoo. There was a big kahoo. Would you ask somebody, let's say somebody comes to you and they've been beaten, okay?
Yeah.
Or physically beaten up. And would you ask them why why did they beat you up, or what did you do?
I
Is that
remember that.
is that a good question to ask somebody? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who are always thinking, okay, they beat me up because I did this, so I deserve it. So if you start telling somebody that, why did they beat you? What did you do? That means it's their fault that they were beaten. What do you say about that?
And again, and I think I mentioned it to you, that is what we call victim blaming. Already, it's your fault for being beaten, right? So we are looking, instead of actually addressing the issue that beating someone in itself is just wrong,
Regardless.
100% wrong.
Regardless.
Yeah? There is no whether someone, even if someone has come in the morning, they've been drinking all night and all that, you can address the fact that they've been drinking all night. Beating them is not a solution. It is still, you know, when people say, oh, I beat her because she drank 2 bottles.
Yeah, I beat her because she was having an affair. Leave her.
Exactly. Make a decision.
Yes.
Don't injure the person. Make your own decision. Don't then go and injure the person. And so it is on the husband's or the partner's side as well, because asking someone, why were you beaten? You know.
Yes.
But then again, Lydia, remember in society, especially us who are from the African heritage, if a woman was beaten, it would be her fault. So people are looking, what have you done?
Yes. What did you do?
What haven't you done? Yeah. Even think about it, even children. Yeah. We would be fast to think, oh, what have you done? What? The beating itself is wrong.
Yes.
That is what we need to know and say, that in itself is wrong. If someone has done something that you don't approve, address it. State that I don't approve of this. I do not. For example, let's say I'm having an affair, right? And the man thinks he can beat me because I'm having an affair. Like you said, he has the option to leave.
Yes.
He doesn't have the option to beat me.
No.
Right?
No.
It's up to him to say, well, you've decided to have an affair. You've decided to break the covenant that we have together, right? So I'm going to do this. What he doesn't have a right to do is
To beat you. Exactly.
Exactly.
Just because you don't know how to cook ugali, somebody beats you. Because you are, the way you went to a party, you looked, you embarrassed them because you are dressed, the dress you're wearing, your cleavage was showing or your thighs were showing, they beat you. And then now somebody comes and tells you, okay, Lydia, next time, just don't wear a dress that your cleavage is showing or your thighs are showing to avoid to be beaten. What kind of crap is that?
It's crap, Lydia, and it's victim blaming, because where does it stop? The next time, okay, now you've covered your cleavage. The next time will be
something
why
else.
Why were you laughing? I mean, I remember why were you laughing so loud? You know, myself, I'm very expressive.
Yes.
Why were you laughing so loud? It's embarrassing the family.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then it gets worse and worse. You know, it gets, before you know it, you've lost who you are.
There's no end to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like you wearing red lipstick. They beat me because they've told me they don't like red lipstick. But I went to my friend's party wearing red lipstick. I've come home, he's there, he see me my red lipstick. I don't want you wearing lashes. I like my lashes. If I wear just even those, putting it like this, I'm scared wearing it. He sees me by mistake, he beats me. I stopped wearing the red lipstick. Now it's the lashes, he beats me. I don't like your red hair, I need you to, he beats me. When will he ever stop?
Exactly.
So there is no...
It will stop when you go in the casket.
Yes, so you cannot ask somebody, why were you beaten or what did you do? Those words are not, if you're dealing with somebody who is coming to you and they're crying that my husband or my wife has beaten me, you cannot ask them, why did they beat you or what did you do? Because then those two questions mean it was my fault that I was beaten. That should never come up. So if you're someone who's asking that, please change that mindset. It's a wrong mindset, to be honest. I don't care what you say. But anyway, I want to say thank you so much to all our guests. If they have anything, I don't know if they can type something. If they want to type anything, you don't want to talk, that's fine. Beatrice, and all those people who joined us on Zoom. If you don't want to talk, it's fine, but you can write something down there. We can read. And just want to say thank you as well to everybody who was watching, people who commented, people who say something. My children, someone said the children may continue to abuse when they experience abuse before. So this is a cycle of DV, has to be broken. Giving yourself affirmation is very important. Sounds true. Out of frying pan to hot fire. I agree with Angela. There's shame and there's also guilt. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to write something there, we can see. I don't know if I can read it. My producer, I don't know if I can read something. I can see somebody say something very important. And yes, I can read it now. Very educational sessions. More of this. Yes, more of this. Like we said, morning for breakfast, lunch, dinner, every time we talk about DV, because there's some people who are in DV and they don't even know that they are in domestic violence. And that's sad, because if you don't know, how do you get out? If you don't know, how do you get help? So discussions like this can actually really, really help people who need help. So Angela, your last words, if you have any last words to tell us. Please.
Everyone who has been here, you guys, remember this session. This is a session, you've learned something. Just know every time you hear this, your confidence rises, and that means you are able to spot when something is not right for you in your relationship, or even in your children's relationship, because a lot of us here have teenagers or adult children, right? You're able to discuss with them these things. And let me ask you, and I'm going to phrase this as a question, right? If I am in a situation where I'm in an abusive relationship and my child goes into an abusive relationship, what right or confidence have I got to ask them to leave when they can turn around and say to me, you didn't leave, why should I leave? Who are you to tell me? And I think I shared with you, Lydia, about last week, a friend of mine who's having to deal with that, with a child who was battered to death.
Yes.
But then they can turn around and say to you, so who do you think you are? You yourself, did you leave? You have no leg to stand on. That's why we need, for example, you, Lydia, you can confidently, if your daughter is being abused, you can confidently say to them, no, that is not right.
Yes.
And they will believe you. Why will they believe you? Because they know that you have done it before and you are capable of doing it, and they have seen you grow stronger. But when we haven't done it, when we are in it, we have no leadership influence on our children when ourselves are stuck in those crazy situations.
Yes. Thank you very much. Somebody say thank you very much for helpful information. Thank you so much. So my one would be analyze yourself. I just want you to sit down, or even sit down in front of the mirror, analyze yourself and ask yourself, why do you hate yourself too much? You hate yourself so much that if you allow somebody to beat you, you allow somebody to manipulate you, allow somebody to do all these things to you, gaslight you every single time. That's the only thing I can say. Because for me, for all those 17 years I was in an abusive relationship, I hated myself. That was self-hate. But I had to come out. Now I love myself to bits. I don't even care. Sometimes my children ask me, Mommy, how do you do it? When people are saying all these negative things and to you just start laughing and telling them, God loves you too. Who gives the answer? And I'm like, yeah, because I love myself and I know who I am now. If they did that to me, they said those words to me when I was still with your dad, probably would have been different. Because at that time, I did not love myself at all. So if you're in domestic violence, sit down and ask yourself, why do you hate yourself so much? Because that's self-hate. You can't be allowing someone to do those things to you and come around and tell me you love yourself. That's not true. And there's no shame to leave that marriage. And I'm not advising anybody to leave your marriage, But I'm just saying there's no shame to be alone. There's no shame to seek for help and support. And if you're watching this and you're going through a DV, or you know someone who's going through DV, please seek for help. Ask for help. Whichever country you're watching from, there's help in every country in regards to DV. The only thing is we are scared to speak out. And this show is Stand Out, Speak Up. And until then, I'll see you again next week on Wednesday, the same time, 6:30 p.m. UK time and 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time. Until then, remember, it can only be God, and I love you guys. See you next week. By God's grace.
London, are you ready? May 26th, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrantia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado, man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com. London, are you ready? May 26th, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrantia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado, man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com. London, are you ready? May 26, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrancia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado. Man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com. London, are you ready? May 26, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrancia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado. Man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com. London, are you ready? May 26, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrancia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado. Man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com. London, are you ready? May 26, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrancia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado. Man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com. London, are you ready? May 26, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrancia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado. Man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com. London, are you ready? May 26, celebrating the legendary, the showstopper, Nana Abrancia Matilda Day. Featuring the performance hitmaker, Amirado. Man of the moment, Paluta. Performing live at the Dominion Centre, Wood Green, London, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Grab your ticket. Standard £44, VIP back £60.50, VIP front £71.50. Tickets available at shoops.com.